In today's video, Dog Squad, we are going to be back here with a video. I know it's been a while since we've done a video, since March Madness, but we have done a lot of shorts. So if you haven't checked that out, go check those out. If you have been back to the channel, but you probably have seen the shorts, or maybe you haven't. If you haven't seen the videos in a while, go check TreyDOG60 for all the videos. But we are going to be back with an NFL video today. We are going to be tier ranking these starting quarterbacks. I think doing that more than ranking them. Doing power rankings and all that on them. So what we're going to be doing today is going to be tier ranking them into groups. We did this last year, so we're going to be back here doing that. But as we end this video, make sure to subscribe to TreyDOG60. Hit the notification bell so never miss one of my videos. We're on the road to 2K subs here. College is approaching soon, so if I am home on the weekends, I don't know how much that'll be. I am only about 4.5 to 5 hours away. I'll try to make some announcement maybe this summer of where I'm going. But here, what I am doing is I've said in past videos, but there will be a couple times a month. Probably I will be here for for the weekend, so you'll see videos then. But you'll also see probably a lot more through my phone, so you will be able to see videos here on the channel. So I think that should be fine. Also, the gaming channel, I don't really know how long that will last. I haven't really played many video games since May. I really just haven't played much because I am just not really a video game type person much anymore. So if you are a fan of TreyDOGaming, I am apologizing. I have to apologize that the gaming channel, I don't know how long it'll be up and running. It is sad because we did have it for a couple years, but it's just I'm not really much of a video game person anymore. As I'm getting older, especially going to college and all that, I know people still play video games, so I'm not saying I'll never play them again, but it won't be, at least will be for quite a bit before I probably play more video games. So, but let's get into this ranking video. Sorry, I haven't really done an actual talk in a while, so here we are with the tier ranking videos, Dog Squad. Okay, so the tier is best of the best, top 10 worthy, which is 6 through 10, basically. You're a quarterback that's definitely around that. That could be definitely around that range. Good starter. That's someone that's outside top 10, but still good. Mids, mid. Below mid, below mid. That says, and then their starter is like, wait, I know they start, but it's like, they don't really seem like someone that would start. So, and sometimes they do. And we, people that have quarterback problems, and we know exactly that. And then there's rookie and the Seymour, which is like someone that like barely started last year or started a bit. And I'm like, they can be good, but are they good enough? I'm not to see more on them this year. So they're in that range. So, all right, we're gonna go with Jacoby Brissett here. We're gonna say he's starting over Carson
Shopping
Beck.
for your next car?
If Carson Beck
What
is
about
here,
third row seats?
He'd be in the rookie range. Are there ads on here? Okay, let's see if this works now. I got it paused as this ad. Okay, Jacoby Brissett here for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go ahead and put. He's had his good year. He's had his solid years, but he's fighting for a spot. I'm gonna put him a below mid because I've seen good out of him. I wouldn't say they're a starter type, but I mean he's got stuff in him that's makes him at least that can be good because he had the most pass he gets a lot of passing yards, but then again you could call those in late moments when it doesn't really matter. He also has a lot of completions. So I could say Jacoby Brissett is below mid. I'm not gonna put him at mid or anything, but I'm not gonna put him there as starter. Okay, Tua has not been great. I'm gonna have to put him at there as starter. I mean, he's got his good ways of he's just I'm gonna have to put him there. He was always good, but he's just really. I mean, he got freaking benched last year. So I mean, he could probably honestly be in the below mid range, but he's just not really. He doesn't seem like a starter material right now. But he, as of right now, if he is going to take the job over Michael Penix, then they're a starter. If Michael Penix was on here, I don't know. I'd probably put him at below mid. But I'm gonna put Tua on here for. Is Michael Penix on here? I don't see him. Okay. Also, Aaron Rodgers is apparently not on here, so we might have to use Mason Rudolph. Okay, Lamar Jackson obviously is best of the best. I mean, he's been a great quarterback. He And throughout his time at the Ravens, he's a top 5 quarterback in my opinion, and on a lot of rankings he is. So I will say that he is the best of the best for a reason. He's very athletic. He can make great runs. He can make great throws. Obviously, he's a best of the best quarterback, and so is Allen. Lamar and Allen have not had playoff success, but of course it is a team effort. I think Lamar's had better defenses that could, but he has made mistakes in the playoffs. Allen, I think he's made some critical mistakes, but he's also had, I think, a good amount of playoff games. Allen's definitely a really good running back, quarterback, quarterback in the league, and he is definitely best of the best. Bryce Young, I'm gonna put him at mid. He's too inconsistent. I think he can be good, but he also has his days where he just doesn't look good. I think he's just one of those mid quarterbacks right now, but he has potential to do even better. I think he had the most led offensive uh, I think it was either comebacks or offensive game-winning drives. I don't remember, but he has definitely came in clutch before. But and same with clutch is the Iceman. I think Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is top 10 worthy. I think he could be borderline 8 through 12. I think he is top 10 worthy. I don't think he's just a good starter. I think Caleb Williams. We know after last year what he did and the numbers he put up and what he did in the playoffs. Besides those interceptions, I think the magic he makes. I think he's a top 10 worthy quarterback. I definitely think Caleb Williams is. Joe Burrow, yeah, I think he's definitely top 10 worthy. I want to say he can be best of the best, but I think he just gets injured too much. Um, that's I just when healthy, you know what? We'll put him at, we'll put best of the best. Well, he's still a very good quarterback when healthy. I'm not, we can't really say, oh, the injuries and all that. I think when he's really healthy, he's really good. He's been like that since he entered the league in 2020, or at least besides maybe the first year he came. But he is definitely one of the best quarterbacks. Top 10 worthy, yeah. If you want to put his injuries in there, but I think he's definitely best of the best. Shedeur Sanders, I think he's just one of those we're going to have to see more out of him. He came in last year. He filled in. We're going to see what he can do this year now. That's even if he starts. Could be Deshaun Watson, but I think Shedeur Sanders also could be the type of quarterback to be. But we're going to need to see more before we judge anything. Dak, definitely top 10 worthy. I think he could be a top 5, but if we're going to really be honest, I think it's going to be Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, and Stafford. I think you could put Dak at 6. I think maybe 6 or 7. I'm serious, but I'm serious. I think you could put him at that range. He's a very cool quarterback. He gets way too much hate, and maybe I'm saying that being a Cowboys fan. I don't know, but I do think if I was an NFL fan with wanting a Cowboys fan, I think I'd be saying the same thing. He's got a lot of talent, got a lot of arm strength, and he still can run a bit, but he's definitely one of the most accurate quarterbacks and great at that too in the league. Top 10 worthy. Good starter is, I think, Bo Nix. He could be top 10 worthy, but I think he also inconsistent, but I think he's more of an above average, above mid quarterback than I think we put with Bryce Young. Especially he had a great playoff game last year against the Bills. Sad that he got hurt and affected the Broncos in that AFC Championship game. Because they had so many chances and they could not get it done on offense with Stidham as quarterback. Bo Nix does get there. I think he's a good starting quarterback. You put him at like the 11 to 15 range. And then you have Jared Goff, top 10 worthy. I think he gets too much hate. I've seen people rank him below top 10. Dude, he is definitely a top 10 quarterback. He has been a lot of his career. He does have great talent, but he doesn't have really good of a defense, and he was able to help that offense last year. Same with Dak. Both quarterbacks had terrible defenses, I think, at points in the season. I think the Lions had a solid one up till later in the year when it just completely, I think, died. And then Dallas had a terrible defense. So they've been having to deal with some chances like that. And he also in the playoff game, I think Goff did throw a couple picks, but he also had to deal with a terrible defense in the postseason. So I do think these quarterbacks are very talented quarterbacks. Goff is one of a top 10 worthy quarterback in the league. He has helped the Lions become more of now a relevant franchise and relevant team. And he was doing that with LA when he was there too. So Jordan Love, definitely top 10 worthy. I think he gets too much hate as well. He has felt, and I know he's not Aaron Rodgers, but he has definitely made the Packers relevant. He has or at least helped with that. He has helped the Packers offense and do great things. You know, we had trouble stopping. Of course, we had trouble stopping a lot of quarterbacks last year, a lot of offenses, but he cooked us twice. He cooked our defense twice when we played him. When we played him and the Packers, so he is, I think, a talented quarterback. He is definitely a top 10 worthy quarterback. He gets way too much hate. He has had MVP liked numbers before, and multiple games has been like that. He does have his ways of making too many mistakes, but he is definitely a good quarterback, and I think he's top 10 worthy. CJ Stroud, he is, I think I'm going to have to put him at mid. I remember a couple years ago, he was like, oh my gosh, he might be best of the best or top 10 worthy. Yeah, he has just fallen off. He is just not the same CJ Stroud we saw him a couple years ago, and the playoffs did not help. He's playing, making way too many mistakes. 4 interceptions in that playoff game did not help his case to be any better. I think he is just right now mid. He has his good ways, but he has his bad ways, and I think that's where he falls. Daniel Jones, we're gonna put him a good starter. He was doing well last year before the Achilles injury, and if you told me this last year, I'd be like, good starter. What the heck did he do? Hey, he was in the MVP race for quite a while last year until the Colts started falling off and he got injured. He is definitely still got it. I think he can keep the Colts kind of going this year. Trevor Lawrence, I think good starter material. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence. I don't he's top 10 worthy, but I'm gonna have to see. He had that good year, but he also has sometimes fallen off from that. So like, I wouldn't say he's really top 10. He's top 10 worthy maybe, but I think there's some other quarterbacks you could put ahead of him. But I think he's borderline. He's a good starter. I think much better than what those other years we saw him have. But let's see if he can have another good year, because there's been years where he's just been like, hey, the team sucked, but so did you. And he was never, he's probably in the mid situation. But he's not a good starter. Patrick Mahomes, obviously the best of the best. I mean, he's Mahomes. I mean, he's a very talented quarterback. He has helped Chiefs win 3 Super Bowls out of the 4. That was a while ago they won that Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl. So, I think he had last year his ways of being good, but the team overall I don't think was functional enough, and then he got hurt. So Patrick Mahomes right there goes with the best of the best. Fernando Mendoza, if he does end up starting, we'll have to see more of him, and he's a rookie. But I think he can keep this Raiders team to a level where they're at least, maybe going to be in the playoffs, or maybe they'll at least be close. Maybe they'll be a solid, team. Maybe they'll just have maybe they'll at least get some wins this year. He'll at least be able to do something this rookie year. But who knows? Maybe it'll be like the Texans, where where he goes off his rookie year, like what C.J. Stroud did. All right, Justin Herbert, definitely top 10 worthy. I think he gets too much hate as well. I think he does tend to underperform in the playoffs, but he also didn't have an O-line. There was coaching problems before. And I do think there were many scenarios. He does have a really good playoff. He does have a good playoff defense, besides maybe the year they choked against the Jags. But Justin Herbert is still a very talented quarterback. We've seen that regular season, time after time. He has been a good quarterback when he has what he needs, especially with the O-line. Really. Matthew Stafford, best of the best. I think he's top 5. Saw last year, he was good. All those other years, I think he wasn't as good now, but proved last year he's definitely best of the best and still in his prime. And they gave him that extension for a reason. Veteran quarterback that just needed to be on a different team. He has definitely shown that since being on the Rams, and had those good years with this, going to the Super Bowl, and then last year almost making the Super Bowl. Had a very good NFC Championship game. Had a very good playoff season last year. All right, so now Malik Willis. I'm going to have to see more from him. I've only seen him a couple games. Now he's going to go play at Miami, and it's like, well, what are you going to do in Miami? Because they're not going to be that good. And so we'll see what Malik Willis does. We'll see if he's going to be the quarterback that they need in Miami. Kyler Murray. He's got his good ways. I'm going to have to put him at the mid. When he's healthy, he can be good. But he also can be pretty bad. That's if he's healthy. When was the last time he had a season that was not, well, he didn't go down with an injury? 2021? Well, they were good that year. Until they kind of fell off later in the year. But they were good. Drake May. I think he's top 10 worthy. You saw last year, runner-up MVP. Couldn't put him in just a good starter. He is, I get the schedule allegations with him. I can get that. But he still played really well. And this is something that we needed to see more out of him. Now he's got a harder schedule. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if the team can do it. Let's see if New England, let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can play like he was last year, at least like a top 10 worthy quarterback. And I think he can. I trust him. Tyler Shug. I'm going to see more from him too. I just don't think I can put him like below mid or mid because like, well, it was last year a fluke. It was like when he took over Spencer Rattler, helped the Saints win some more games and almost make the playoffs. I mean, he almost did. He almost won the division after looking like they were not going to win many really after the whole year. I mean, they won what, like 7 or 8 games? I thought they'd won like 2. It looked like that way for a little bit until he came in and kind of solved some things, helped with the Saints. But I think he's got potential being something that'll maybe keep them somehow getting them to sneak in the playoffs next year. Now the division, we're going to see if they're even good at all next year. Jackson Dart, I think he's a good starter. We saw him quite a bit last year, and I think he had plenty of games where he looked like he was starter material. I just don't think he's a mid quarterback. I think last year he just didn't have what he needed to be good, and especially he needs to stay healthy this year. But I definitely think he has the potential of doing well with a functional team. And really, I can't put him at mid because like really didn't have when he had the help, he was good. Think about those 2 games last year when they went 2-2 or 2-3 when he came in. It looked like he could do something. I think he can be inconsistent. I think he's definitely just a good starter material. Probably one of the lower ends of the good starters. Geno Smith, their starter. Man, I'm serious. Like, you forget something. I'm questioning that myself. Geno Smith, you want a starter? I mean, sure, he was good at Seattle, but you're putting him in a franchise that hadn't really been that good. You think that's going to go well? We'll see. Maybe he'll prove people wrong. Jalen Hurts. I mean, I want to say I just think he's just a good starter. I do. So what? He won a Super Bowl. I'm not hating on him. But like, it's kind of hard to prove anything. For one, we have that much of a team, and 2, I think he makes way too many mistakes, and I think he hadn't really proved to be a top 10 quarterback. I think there are other quarterbacks around him. I think 2 years ago you could have said the case, but maybe after 2024. But man, because I will say I had him 5 last year. I think I don't know. Did I rank him last year or not? I just don't think last year proved that he didn't need. I think last year kind of proved that he wasn't as. I don't think he's as good as I thought maybe he was. I thought, hey, top 5 worthy. I know he didn't 2024. He didn't look like he did a lot of work, but he still had some good stuff. I think last year kind of proved to take him out of that top 10 conversation. But he's still a good quarterback, still a good starter, helping the Eagles win a Super Bowl. And if he, I just don't think we saw from him what we saw in that 2022 year. The 2024 year he didn't have to do that much. But I think the 2022 year, he had it quite a bit. And then last year, he didn't look that good. So I think he's just a good starter material. Sure, he had his ways last year, but I don't think he can run the ball pretty well. But I'm not saying this as a Cowboys fan. I'm just saying what I've seen on the field. But I think he has potential of being a top 10 quarterback. I just don't think he's top 10 worthy. I think he's like 11 through 13 range. But hey, trust me, I've seen him play well. He has potential to definitely be top 10 worthy. He's been reasons of them. I think he's been a reason they won the Super Bowl. I'm not saying he wasn't a reason, but I'm just saying he didn't, just because he won a Super Bowl does not mean he should be like top 5 or anything like that. But he can be top 10, but I don't think he is. I don't think he's worthy right now to be top 10. But we'll see what goes on this year. We're going to put Aaron Rodgers. This is Aaron Rodgers. Mid. He had his good times last year. He is not the same Aaron Rodgers anymore. But he is definitely not a bad quarterback. Now, we'll see what he does this year in this following year play out with before he leaves and retires as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I mean, crap, who knows? Maybe he could go to the Green Bay Packers next year and be like pulling Amari Cooper. All right, I'm going to sign with y'all. I'm not playing. I'm just going to retire as a Packer. Possibly what he could do. Oh, look, 30 minutes of Packers defensive highlights. Well, isn't that great? Isn't that just great? All right, Brock Purdy. He is I'm going to put him with Hurts. Probably a little over Hurts, but he's a good starter. You could maybe say he's top 10 worthy. But for one, he does get injured. I think he does get injured quite a bit. But also, I think there were times at points where it was like Is he really that good? Or is it just because he had a really good system? Because it seemed like that was the case last year. And it seemed like that I've seen that since the Super Bowl run. That's what since Super Bowl run, it seems like that's been the case with Brock Purdy. Is he really that good? Or is he top 10 worthy? Because I think you could put Goff, Love, Herbert, Dak, even Caleb and May on over him. I think you could. I know you at least. I think those four in the middle are better than him. But I just think also I've seen Caleb and May. I think I've seen them do pretty well too. Over Purdy. Now I think he can be top 10, but I don't think he is right now. I don't think he's someone that you could put quite right now at the top 10. But maybe I can see him really do well this year with the Niners and him really get back to that top 10 list and be top 10 worthy. But I think he's a little outside top 10 with Hurts. I think he's just on that good starter range. Sam Darnold, he did really well last year with that offense. I'm going to put him at top 10 worthy. I think, it would. He really helped. It's not like that offense was all that. They had JSN, but Kenneth Walker wasn't even always a top 10 running back. He played really well last year. He helped an offense be pretty good last year. To say he's a top 10 worthy quarterback. I think, now when I say top 10 worthy, I could be like, he could be outside that, he could be inside that. The good starters are like, wouldn't say they're quite top 10. Yet. I think Sam Darnold is definitely top 10 worthy. And he has really made a case to be a good quarterback again after the years of the Jets and backup quarterbacks, Panthers, and the Niners. Baker Mayfield, after what we saw last year, I can't put him at top 10 worthy. He was good, but then he fell off. He's a good starter. We'll definitely see. I think he's definitely a good starter. I ain't gonna put him at mid. He's definitely got quite a bit of talent. Definitely makes great plays. But if we can see what we did, maybe that 2024 year and beginning of last year, we could see Tampa do that. He could be a top 10 quarterback, but he's not top 10 worthy. I don't think right now. He's falling off that. I think. Cam Ward. I'll put him at right now. He was. We'll put him at below mid. I think right now he needs to be with Jacoby, because it's like he didn't really have as much last year, but it's also the point of him being like didn't really see really that good of him in the NFL yet. But I think also to do with him not having much talent, I think now that he has a little more, I think he'll be fine. I think that he'll be able to get back to the mid, and maybe who knows, a good starter could be making his way up. Jaden Daniels, I think he's fallen to the good starter category. After last year, it's like, well, maybe he's not top 10 quite. He did get hurt, and the best team overall didn't play, but he also, I think sometimes when he played, it didn't always seem like he was back to his old self. So I'm going to have to put him at the outside top 10. Outside top 10 worthy. 1 year can definitely change some stuff because it's like, well, what are they now? So, but those are our rankings. You see, best of the best. You got Lamar, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, and Stafford. You got top 10 worthy. You got Caleb, Dak, Goff, Love, Herbert, Drake, and Sam Darnold. Good starter. You got Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, Trevor, Dart, Hurts, Purdy, Baker, Daniels, and then you got mid. You got Young, Stroud, Murray, and you got Rodgers. We're using him as Rodgers. And then you got below mid. You got Brissett and Ward, and he could be possibly a mid, but I'm gonna put below mid because I don't think I saw quite a bit. You even could put him at C more, honestly. And then you got they're a starter, Tua and Smith and Geno, and then you got rookies / C more now. Sanders may not even get over him. May not even get over him. May never get over Watson. Mendoza may not even get over Cousins. Malikin though and Shog will be starting, but I haven't seen enough from them. And either he's a rookie, and I need to see more out of Shedeur if he does start. So those are our tier rankings. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Dog Squad, peace.